Hi guys, Hotshot here, and welcome back once again to another Evil Dead video. Today we are going over the patch notes for the recent update of Evil Dead the game. This is the May 17th, 2023 patch notes. It's pretty short, I would say, for a game like this, even though I'd expect a little bit more, but that's fine. So, to start off, new features. Players who compete and have completed all missions will get the remaining 2 Nobi tapes, unlock the complete story for Professor Nobi. In my honest opinion, for reading this a little bit, this is a massive red flag, because the devs have said in different interviews that we're supposed to get the two last missions of the game, and I wonder if they scrapped those missions for this, or unless they're adding those 2 missions later and then giving us like skins or something. I don't know if this is a massive no-no, but in my honest opinion, I feel like this was a bad thing on their end, because I think we should have gotten 2 missions in this update, or unless I don't know what's going on. I'm not a fan of this, honestly, because this is just a massive no-no to me, and I think this isn't a good idea to really kind of go on. So, I don't agree with this at all. This is just a no-no in my honest opinion. I think that's a capital L, or an X. Alright, so moving on. Let's see. So, survivors. Survivor icons have updated to pop up during the mass paranoia ability. Alright, pretty good. Survivors no longer detect Ball during peekaboo by the sounds of the steps of his voice. That's good, honestly, because his sounds are just annoying to hear every time, because he's loud as shit, so I'm fine with that. Survivors now receive fear after dodging traps activation. Alright, that's nothing. That's fine, honestly. I'm not too keen on that. Hunter's lone wolf will no longer be inactive if only dead teammates are around the player. That sounds good, honestly. Not bad. Alright, this is the main thing. The demons. Demons will no longer miss hits on the Necronomicon. I really wish they would just get rid of Necronomicon phase. So, in other words, if you're using an elite that has an AoE attack or something, they're always going to hit the book. So that's just another L, honestly, because I really wish they would just trash the book phase and make Necronomicon phase the last phase of the game. Or what the hell did I just say? I meant the Dark Ones the last phase of the game. Make them have 5 bars of health and make it a chaotic fight. That would be better, but no Necronomicon rework, unfortunately, but that's okay. Alright, here's the big one. Ball can no longer chain possess survivors. So I saw a streamer kind of rant about this a little bit, and I actually played a game of Ball before, just to hop on to see this. This is my controversial take from playing both sides of the game. This was what he had. Ball was like a really strong demon, and he's still good. You just really have to think now. This guy was really strong, and I think that was a good thing about him, is that he was basically what a demon should be. However, being able to infinitely possess survivors over and over and over again, like you press your active ability, trap it, you can throw them into the trap, or if they walk into it, you trap, then you would possess them while your active's still up and keep just infinite looping them over and over again. That was just really unhealthy for the game. I'm not a fan of infinite stuff in the game, like same with Plaguebringer with her infinite potion and her infinite spam. This was obnoxious, and I think what's important is everyone's complaining that it's Demon's dead. I'm seeing it now from the Discord server to everything else. It's not fair for a person that's one-sided, because in my honest opinion, this needed to go. It just wasn't fun playing against him that way, and the fear mechanic in this game is still stupid, because it's like one trap just makes you all the way get to max fear in just one trap jump, and it was just ridiculous how like Ball made hunters look like they were like the weakest class in the game, from just infinite possessing just to back and forth. Like, yeah, I like the chaotic fights, but at the same time, it just really wasn't fun in solo queue to deal with just the fact he can just keep infinite looping over and over and over again. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, Demon's dead. I literally played a game of Ball and I did fine. And he's still good. You just have to really think of how you're going to play him now with the whole changes of his traps. Because I know he's a fear trap guy. You can still replace the traps and they're going to keep walking into it. You just have to think with your brain of how you're really going to play him now. So if people can look at Ball and say, oh, he's going to be weak now. He's still fine. So I don't know why people are going to say Demon is weak, it's dead, even though in reality you're just going to have to think of how you're really going to play better. Think of new play styles. The meta switched. Ball no longer has support Ash's mark target and Kalu's counter shot effect ability during peekaboo. This is a nice change because I think what's funny though is if you use El Jefe's show up and blow up, you can still see where he's going. So I'm going to have to test that out in solo queue to see how that's going to go. But this is a nice change because I think this should have been gone. It's a nice buff to him because he really definitely needed some changes to this because of how it was just easy to hit him with a marked target and then you can just find him and kill him basically whenever you wanted to. So I'm glad this is good. Now Power Possesses ability doesn't get a cooldown after usual possession if the respective button wasn't pressed without if the button was pressed without the target before. I think this is okay. I think this is about Elagos, I think, because he's only dealing with Power Possess, so I have to figure out what that means, because I'm not 100% sure, so if anyone can tell me, that'd be great. Demon traps no longer stop working after unpossessing a survivor and letting them activate the trap. So this is, again, another thing of they just have to walk into it now. So in other words, you just don't... This is going for all the demons, so this isn't going to affect my playstyle at all. I just think that, for instance, like you can't dodge the trap, so if they just walk into it, you're just going to have to deal with the fact you can't just keep getting their fear back up every time, which was just something that was just obnoxious. This isn't me saying like, oh, I want this game to be survivor-sided or demon-sided for playing both sides. Like the fact that you can't dodge traps anymore, and I think that was a fair change that you can't, but sometimes I say I hate it, sometimes I say I love it, but at the same time, it's like, what are you really going to do? I just think the devs just have bad demon design of how demons should be, and that's fine, I guess, in some way. I don't know how they're going to fix that. It's like, it's not that the demon is weak, it's just the bad gameplay mechanics of it just make him unfun. Demon no longer receives increased damage while possessing a survivor marked by Manhunter. So that's one of Ball's perks, or one of his main abilities. So I guess what that means is that when you activate your active ability and you possess a survivor, they won't get that increased damage that he do, because it does a lot of fucking damage, but it doesn't do that anymore. So that's it was crazy to say, honestly, because that damage was crazy in my honest opinion, so I'm kind of glad for that. Buttons for opening and placing proximity portals are correctly displayed on the HUD when the demon unpossesses the vehicle. Okay, I don't really care about that. The witch can no longer cancel the slowdown delay after an attack by a particular button combination. Alright, so this is my hot take on Plaguebringer or the witch. So in my opinion, she definitely needed a nerf because she was just ridiculous to go against in solo queue. She was just annoying. But the thing is, I still wanted Plaguebringer to be strong. I just think the main problem with her was just her knockback ability. I thought her speed was... I was getting used to her speed being like a little bit like fast. But the thing was, it's just her knockback every time she just used a basic attack. So that was my only problem. Now, people are looking at this and saying Plaguebringer's dead, or she's not playable, or she's unfun. But I still think in reality, like, I haven't played a game of her because I still find her boring to play. But if I find the right game to play her, I'm going to test this out and see how much this nerf can kill her, even though I still think she's still going to be fine. Unless I say otherwise, she's terrible to play. But I'm not a fan of the witch anyway, so I don't really care for her too much. But because she's not my favorite demon to play. I'd rather play necromancer. But yeah, I don't think this is. I think people are just upset at the fact that there was glitches with her and there was infinite energy exploits with her. So the people are just angry that they can't do that anymore, and people are going to be one-sided. When in reality, the witch, the only thing she really needed was just a knockback change, and then she would have been fine to go against, honestly. But there's Brock in the game, but that's a whole different thing. Deadites downed with finishers can no longer perform a small jump on the ground. I guess what that means is like when you down a Deadite with a finisher, they don't perform like a little jump, I guess. I don't know. The vanishing effect of the demon now appears when exercised from a page dagger. Oh, this was like the thing where it says like you are vanished from the area, and I guess that was like a bug where like you couldn't see it on the thing, so that's cool. Demon no longer sees the colored beam above the survivor's item, so it means like when they drop an item, you don't see like where it's gonna drop at, or you don't see like the beam icon where you see it. So that's okay, I guess. I don't really care for it, so I'm good. Generals. Leader Ash's voice lines for Killing Ball are now correctly played. I wish Ruby, Kelly, and Pablo had voice lines for Killing Ball, because I don't understand why only Leader Ash has it, but in other words, I guess in reality, I guess they wanted him. It's a little upsetting, because, I mean, it's cool that he has it, but still at the same time, I want the other characters to have it too, so that's a little weird. In the tutorial, hand axes over the table now have a natural spawn location. Cool. Weapons are now unable to spawn vertically. Okay. SMG and grenade launchers are now included in handgun and special ammo descriptions. Cool. The supply crate mark will no longer disappear when the players near it move to another map location. I guess that this means if you mark a supply crate, it won't disappear for a certain amount of time, or it'll no longer disappear when you're leaving the area. That's kind of cool. Soul calling voice lines will no longer be played in the Necronomicon phase if the player carries them in the inventory before entering the stage. I don't know why I keep saying that wrong. I'm stupid. I mean, the voices are kind of annoying when you hear them, but I guess that's fine. Elagos's neck will no longer unnaturally stretch out if the shotgun in the 8th mission. Okay. Fixed an issue with some players fighting invisible deadites. Thank God, because that's annoying. Literally, that was one of the most annoying things ever. Various localization fixes. I don't know what that is. So, I fucking hated invisible deadites. Those were a pain in the ass. Balance changes. Brock Williams healing bonus per non-family member for the ability Blood Ties decreased from 7% to 5%. Damage reduction per family member for ability Blood Ties decreased from 7% to 5%. This was the wrong change. I think all Brock needed was his ability to carry extra colas. He can carry 5 colas, even though he should only carry 4, because with Cheryl, that's like 13 colas with 5, and then 12 with 4. So I mean, I don't know. They either need to nerf Cheryl's ability to hold 8, or nerf Brock, and I think they just needed to nerf Brock's perk and rework it or something, because I mean, or if you just take out the colas and then nerf the amulets too. I mean, that was the problem with Brock, honestly, but this wasn't the right change. Game crashes and whatever. So that's the patch notes. I still think, like, overall, the unlocking tapes when you haven't played the missions is stupid. I'm happy with Ball getting changed because I think he needed it. I still think he could have used like an animation fix and maybe an attack speed buff or something to make him feel better to play. I still think he's pretty slow though, but that could be changed. This is a little bit lackluster because I wish the balance changes added Henrietta and Evil Ash because they're pretty weak to play. Unless they have a rework on the way. I don't know. So Ball kind of got like a buff and a nerf at the same time, which is okay. I'm not angry that he got changed. I'm actually happy that he can't infinite possess because that was a problem. And the people who don't are just stupid. Or not stupid, they just don't know what they're talking about. It's 11 o'clock, I'm tired. But I think this was a little bit mediocre. I'm gonna say like a 5 out of 10 on the patch notes. Hopefully they change this more, and I know a lot of people are gonna say this game is dying and all that, even though I don't think that's the case. I just think people are one-sided and they don't see the other problems for the other side to deal with. So yeah, that's about it on the May 17th patch notes for Evil Dead. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and sub, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Hopefully this game has more patches, but until then, this is GroovyHotshot, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.